Hello, this is Jeff Gaudiosi, and you're on misplacedstraws.com where music comes to life. And my guest today, in my opinion, is one of the great and most underrated guitarists in rock today. He's been on the site a few times before, but this is the first time since 2021, and I'm so happy to have him back as his band, the Dead Daisies, are about to kick off a huge tour, release a brand new record called Light 'Em Up in September, and he's here to talk about all of it. Please welcome from the Dead Daisies, Doug Aldrich. Welcome, Doug.
Hey Jeff, what's up, man?
No, pleasure to have you back.
Thanks
And
for having me back. It's been a while. 21 was
the
seems
first
like it was
album
a
with Glenn.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Oh wait. No, yeah, that's right. That is correct because
yeah.
we had the pandemic that blew everything out for 20. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, I think in 20 we talked with one of the Revolution Saints records and then had you back again with the first Glenn one. So it's been quite a while now.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for having me back and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Now, the Daisies, you guys are always evolving. So who's the lineup for this tour that's about to kick off in the record?
Um this tour is Tommy Clufetus is brand new. He's back. He's
Yeah.
returning back. He is on drums. Everybody knows Tommy from White Zombie and Ozzy
Mhm.
and Sabbath.
Yeah.
Sabbath, really. And then on bass, we got Michael Devin from Whitesnake and Lynch Mob. He's just an incredible player. Everyone knows, and he's a great singer as well. And then, of course, me and David Lowy on
Yeah.
guitar and John Corabi, the return of John Corabi.
Mhm.
So it's a very exciting time right now because we got new music with Corabi fronting the band, and the single came out
Did I?
just
Yeah.
today. So we're really excited about everything, and we've got the record. I think it's slated to come out like September-ish, something like that. But
Mhm.
it's drive good album to work out to or drive
Mhm.
road trip. It's like straight up rock and roll. It's got a great good vibe. So
Mhm.
that's it for that. But yeah, where the tour starts, like the beginning of June, we
Yeah.
start in New York.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can check.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt,
Mm.
Jeff. No, I was just gonna say, just to make it easy, check the deaddaisies.com for the tour dates and stuff because there's only a few in the US. It's like 2 weeks,
Mhm.
10 shows, something like that, or 12. But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll lengthen the US, later in the year or next year. But for the moment, this is what we got for June. So check out the deaddaisies.com.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned Michael Devitt. I just interviewed Troy Licata from Tesla, and the two of them have a band together that had a record just come out too. So he's keeping busy.
What? Michael Devin is in two bands?
At
No,
least.
no, no. No, I know he did the session. I don't think it's a band yet, but you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
we that stuff's you know, that's the whole music business, man. People join in bands without telling the other guys in the band, and then you get in a fist fight.
Yeah. Well, now the title track, Light 'Em Up, it's out and the tour kicks off in June. When you guys do this US run and then through Europe, will you be playing some of the new songs live, kind of previewing them a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, we can't wait, man. I mean, that's the whole fun of going back on the road is having new material to play. And Light 'Em Up is for sure going to be a staple in the set for a while. That's like, kind of classic Daisies type of riff and groove and stuff. And it's just really good. Krabi sounds great. Um, that's actually, and we wrote that song with the riff was from our buddy Stevie D from Buck Cherry. He came up with the riff, and then we built the song around that. And um, yeah, so Marty Fredrickson and Stevie had that riff, and Marty said, "What do you think about this?" We were like, "That's kick ass. That sounds great." So turned into a really good song, and we wanted to, start off the whole thing with that one.
The- And next to David, you've become the longest serving member of the band. When it comes to writing a record, you mentioned getting this riff from Stevie and having Marty Fredrickson involved. Do you enjoy the challenge of kind of writing with different lineups each record and trying to fit the strengths of the lineup? Or do you just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
go in and say, this is the song and work around it?
no, it's different every time with different people. When we had Glenn, we were writing kind of individually and then bring our kind of completed ideas together, and then we'd kind of rework them. Um, with this lineup with John and Marty, it's a really we really like to do stuff creatively from the get-go. And one of the things that's so cool about Marty is he's not afraid to trash a song and just go, nope,
Mhm.
we it's and you get a song together and you're like, okay, that it is what it is. It's it's cool, it's got a good vibe and whatever. And Marty will be the first one to go, it's not
Yeah.
the chorus isn't working, or it needs we need to do this or that. And then you dig deep and you come and you change it, and it's like, whoa, he was right. Even like at the last minute, there was one song, we were just at the very last day of tracking, and we were just going to toss out this one song and bring in another song that we had, you obviously have more ideas than you can record, but he was like going to chuck this song out and we were going to do this other one, and we were kind of like, damn, that's a good song. And but he pushed us and he was right, and it was really cool because it turned out to be, oops, sorry, it turned out to be a very strong song. So I really enjoy the whole process. What we do is we'll all get together and jam on something in the studio. We'll kind of put down the idea as we're playing live, come in and review it, and then we'll start to make changes. Might just decide, like, you know what, let's just chop this section out and hear what it sounds like without that other section, or let's double that section and see what that sounds like, and then we'll go back and retrack it. It's just a very fun, creative time. It's unfortunately just goes by very quickly. The whole recording process is like literally we we did the record in a week, basically, as far as the recording and stuff.
And now again, this Karabi, he's back in the band. You did a couple records with him earlier, and his
Yeah.
stuff was always kind of a little harder, a little more of a rock edge, where the Glenn Hughes stuff was a little funkier and kind of went into some different territories. With this
Yeah.
record, I mean, Light 'em Up, I think that personifies the Karabi vibe in this band. Is that kind of
Yeah.
what we can expect from the record?
Yeah, it's just an easy thing with John. He always brings he brings a look. I just want to say this because I've been very blessed to work with amazing singers my entire career. I mean, it's crazy. And Karabi on this record stands out, man. He's never sounded better, and he's just going strong. And he brings the same thing he did to Motley Crue. He just brings a straight up sleazy rock and roll sound. That's what John's, that guy, man. He's a sleazy guy. Just kidding. But no, he brings that really greasy, sleazy rock and roll thing, and it's taking nothing away from Glenn, because Glenn's obviously legendary, and we had a great time playing together. I've Glenn's like my brother, as well. So it's just an easy fit with John. It's really like, I think that's when the Dead Daisies started to develop into a band,
Mhm.
more than just like what they started, which was kind of a collective,
Yeah.
and it still is a collective, but John makes it into more of a band vibe. You know, when he came in the band, and him and Richard Fortus and Tishy and Marco Mendoza and those guys, that was like, oh, okay, that's a band.
Mhm.
And so, then there's changes that happen, whatever. But Karabi's, he definitely feels at home.
One thing I think as a fan, one thing I love about this band is you guys are really prolific. I mean, Light 'em Up, it's all new material out in September, but you guys have also recently released two resurrected volumes where you revisit some of your deep cuts. I think a second volume of that just came out a couple of weeks ago. The way the music business is now, is it important for you guys from a business sense to always have content coming to stay top of mind? It's not like the old days where you could go away for a year and come back and you're just as big as when you left. Are you guys always looking to have something out there for fans?
It's not on purpose. It's really that we just
Mhm.
enjoy. I mean, when John came back last year we were supporting this best of release, and
Right up here.
so
Right.
we just wanted to, yeah, oh cool. And we just wanted to, we had a few ideas, and John had a couple of song ideas. I had some. Marty had, Marty's, he's an amazing songwriter on top of everything else. And Michael had a few ideas. David had a few. So we decided to, kind of bang through a few. And once we got some that we felt were, once we kind of discovered what we had, it was like, let's just meet up with Marty and top these, top and tail these songs. But yeah, yeah, it's a good thing, like you say. Um, as far as those resurrected things, those are kind of like best of,
Yeah,
but in a like deeper cuts or
deep
whatever.
cuts.
And
Yeah.
it's got different lineups
Mhm.
on different songs or whatever. So it's kind of like a retrospective
Mhm.
of deep cuts from the band throughout the years.
Mm. Yeah, and it's funny, just quick, you mentioned the 10th anniversary. I got the best of behind me over here. I gotta say, that's one
Yeah,
of the best greatest hits collections I've owned. Just the notations in it, the photos. I mean, you guys went all out on the packaging of that. It really is a great collection
that
to
was all
have.
my that was all my idea of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's your fingerprints all over it. Yeah.
No, we have a great management team that um, and a group of people that work, behind the scenes,
Mhm.
making it easier for the musicians to just play music. They kind of, take over, and they'll put stuff together and just run with it. And it's teamwork. So we're all good with it. That's how this thing works, is by, team effort.
Now, as you guys are getting ready for this tour, how difficult is it to put a live set together when you're dealing with so many lineups? Are there songs from the early, John Stevens days that you may have to adjust to fit Karabi's voice, or riffs that
Um,
Fortis did that you make your own?
I would say we try to generally, you know, if we're gonna if we're gonna play a song that was written with a different lineup, or recorded with a different lineup, we try to pay respect to that song the way that it was recorded. But that being said, um, there's only one Richard Fortus. So I mean,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do my best to hit the melodies the way that he did it. But then there might be some fill-in spots that I'm like, I don't know how he's doing that. So I'm gonna do it this way, which is kind of normal. And when Karabi sings, I mean, he's singing the same notes, but it sounds like it's a John song
Yeah.
automatically. It's the same with anybody. When Glenn would sing a John song, and it started to sound like a Glenn song, but it was sung with the same notes. It's just Glenn's tone or John's tone, depends. But when John sings even a Glenn song, it sounds like a John song, basically.
Yeah. And, we mentioned last year's the band's 10th anniversary, and it's weird because in some ways it feels like a short time, like you guys are still a new band, but you've accomplished so much in that short time of 10 years. At this point now, do you and David kind of set goals for where you would like to see the band go, or do you just kind of let it evolve naturally?
For me, I let it evolve because I in this in this particular band, I think my role, obviously, for playing lead guitar and being a guitar head or whatever. that's my job. But as, my role is basically a supporting role. I'll if somebody says, "Hey, we need a riff, like something, some kind of badass bluesy riff or something," I'm the first one to go home and kind of start plowing through stuff, just playing at things, and if I'll get ideas and put them down, or if somebody says, "Hey, I got this thing, I don't really know where to go with it," I'm happy to work on it. It's like supporting. It's always been that way with me, supporting the singer, basically.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to write songs that the singer's going to like, and I don't really worry about it. If he likes it, cool. If not, then cool.
Yeah.
We'll work on something else. But that's a that's that's kind of how I've always been, and it's the same with this band.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all generally like, yeah, David is the founder, the leader of the band, but he lets different people do different things, so that we're all carrying our weight. It's not like we're waiting around for somebody to make a decision, but if somebody's got an idea, we all know what to do to make it happen.
Mm. And now, nobody is ever really out of the Dead Daisies. As we've talked about, even this interview, guys have come and gone a couple of times. And now you don't have to
Yeah.
mention any names or anything, but was there ever sort of a lineup that sounded really good on paper, but when you got together to jam, you're like, it just doesn't gel?
Actually, not really, because
Mm.
everybody that's I mean, when I came in, it was it was like I've played with these guys all before, and I met David. He and I pretty much had talked about what he was looking for in a lead guitar player, and he told me what he was good at, and I was like, cool, that sounds great. I mean, I kind of learned when I was working with Red Beach that it's um it's really it's an interesting thing when you got two guys that are kind of bringing different vibes to it. It really helps, and it makes it fun for me. Uh, but no, to answer your question, no, I don't think so. Everybody that's come in has either been in the band before me, like Brian Tishy
Mm.
he was in the band before me, and then he went away for a year or two, something, and then he came back, and so it was like easy, it's super easy. Um, so no, there's never been, we never like plan out, like it's like if somebody's not available and we bring somebody else in, we're going to bring in somebody that either's kind of done it with us
Mm.
before, or somebody that we've all individually played with. So that way you know what you're going to get. But yeah, there is. It's interesting because a lot of times you would think about um, musicians that would be really good together, but if they actually played together, it might not be
Yeah, it's
what you
just a
think it would be.
chemistry thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of any band, is being able to hang out together and be
Mm.
friends together. That's so important.
Mm.
Um, and that's something that I would say, this is off topic a little bit, but like talking about for younger musicians,
Mm.
we're putting a band together. It's most important thing is how you guys is how you manage a friendship and a relationship, and can you hang together on a bus for 15 or 20 hours, or could you hang out with this person in the airport for 24 hours,
Mm.
because that stuff happens on the road, and you got to be able to hang out.
Mm. Yeah. Now, you're always a pretty busy guy. Do you have any other projects in the hopper other than the Daisies, or is this year all Dead Daisies?
It's the Dead Daisies has been my number one priority for the past 4 years. I basically, when I stopped being a part of the Revolution Saints project, I focused 100% on the Daisies. I do write, different stuff that maybe wouldn't be for the Daisies. I just kind of tuck it away or whatever. Um, and maybe I'll get into that at some point. But at the moment, we are really busy promoting the tour. That's just around the corner next month. And then this album's going to come out, and we're going to be busy. We're doing the US dates, we got UK dates and European dates, and we'll probably fill in a few other things. But other than that, when I'm home, I'm doing family stuff. It's
Mm.
like, it's really like important to me when it's important when you got little kids that you're around and that you can do things with them that are memories, you know. So right now my daughter's 8 and I'm really blessed to be able to be home sometimes, you know, where I'm not always gone.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, I don't know if you're plugged in or not, but you want to give us a little something since you're.
Well, I am plugged in. I don't know what it's going to sound like because I've
Yeah.
got these in-ear monitors
Uh,
going, but
yeah, no, unfortunately, it's not picking up here. Yeah.
it doesn't pick up.
No, no, no.
I'm sorry. It's
Oh,
just even if I play slow,
yeah, no, it's not picking up any volume off the guitar.
that's
Yeah.
weird, man. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I gotta find a way to I gotta find a way to I'll work on that for next time we
Yeah.
talk because there's got to be a way. This is just so you guys, so everyone knows, this is my second interview out of probably 100 that I'm going to do for, you know, the tour and the album and stuff. So I'll get it together. It's like getting my interview chops back. But there's something I got to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call somebody and see how I can get the sound
Yeah.
to come in as well.
Well,
Somehow
there you
that
go.
would be cool.
Yeah. The next time we talk, we'll have this worked out.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we've been spending some time here with Doug Aldrich. The band is the Dead Daisies. The new single, Light 'Em Up, is out everywhere now. The record will be out in September. You guys are hitting the road the beginning of June. You're starting off up in this area in New York. And check out the website. It has all the dates. Doug, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I love this band. Can't wait to hear the rest of the record. And best of luck with it this year.
Well, thank you, and thanks to your listeners and viewers, and we really appreciate the support. You know, we're having a blast doing this stuff. We you know, to be making new music right now, it feels really good, and we're excited about the tour. It's going to be a fun night. So if we're coming in anybody's neck of the woods, make sure to get your tickets because it's going to be a really fun night.
Sounds
So
good.
thank
Best
you
of
guys.
luck,
Yeah.
Doug.
Thanks, Jeff. See
Thanks.
you guys.
Yep.